Hello and welcome to our digital classroom. Today I am going to deal with second part of summary writing. In the previous part I talked about what is summary, what is the importance and purpose of summary, what are the do's and don'ts of summary. Students, this question of summary writing is there in our examination for 4 marks. So in today's lecture we are going to focus on what are the steps one has to follow while writing a summary. For a summary, and after that, with the help of examples provided in our textbook, I will explain you how to summarize with the help of steps provided. So what are the steps for summary writing? There are 6 steps provided in our textbook. Step number 1 is read the article twice. Step number 2, ask questions about the purpose of writing. Step number 3 is identify the main ideas. Step number 4 is write the first draft. Step number 5 is revise your draft and edit it. And last one, step number 6 is write the final draft. So, how to follow these steps we are going to see. So, first we'll deal with step 1. So, step 1, read the article twice. The first step to well written summary is to read the original piece of work. Focus on reading the original text without taking any notes. Here the goal is to become familiar with the main idea of the piece while gaining insight into the author's specific style and voice. This first reading will help you in grasping the main idea of the text. Now second reading of the article means active reading. Read the article again, this time marking the important points you will want to include in your summary. Second reading of the article should provide you with a solid base for your summary. Now step 2, after first one, step 2 is ask questions about the purpose of writing. Here one has to ask questions about the purpose of writing. Now what are the questions one has to ask? It depends on the nature of paragraph. We will see it with the example in the next part of this lecture. Now step 3 is identification of the main idea. Students, once you finish reading the original piece, take time to reflect on what you have read. Think about the important points of the text and how the author constructed the sequence of events. Determine the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, why of the piece of writing to identify the main ideas. So this is about step 3. Now step 4, write the first draft. At this step, you have virtually outlined the main points or body of your summary. Be sure to include some linkers such as then, however, also, moreover, like, etc. to help with the overall structure and flow of the summary. Now comes the next step, that is step number 5, and it is revise your first draft and edit it. Once you have completed your first draft, reread your summary to make sure you have accurately represented the author's main ideas. Review the text. Ensure the text does not contain any personal commentary, any example, statistics, etc. Compare it carefully with the original to see that you have included all the important points. Use of reported speech and usually past tense is suggested. Correct all mistakes in spelling and grammar. Let the language be simple and direct. Now the last step is writing the final draft. So write out neatly the final draft under the heading you have selected. So now we have gone through theory, how to summarize, what are the steps to follow while summarizing. A philosopher Confucius says, I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. So it's time to do. It's time to follow these steps actually with taking an example. So by taking an example provided on our page number 136 and 37 of Yog Bharati Standard 12, we are going to follow all the steps provided for summary writing, all the 6 steps. So first, let me tell you, so go through the given extract twice. Reading is very important, as we have seen it in the step 1, read the text 2 times. Okay, now students, second step is to ask questions to the article provided. Now, what questions one should ask? It depends on the nature of paragraph provided. Now, as far as the paragraph provided on page number 136 and 37 is concerned, I have few questions. The first question is, what is the text about? And when I ask this question, I get an answer through the paragraph. And do one thing, underline the sentences where the answer lies. So first question is what the text is about, and the answer comes, the text is about learning disability, LD. Now automatically the second question arises, what is learning disability? And then I get an answer, learning disability is an umbrella term for a wide variety of learning problems. There may be apparent problems while reading, writing, listening, speaking, reasoning, and dealing with maths. So underline this sentence provided in the paragraph. Now after this, when I get to know what learning disability is, the next question comes is, are there different types of learning disabilities? And if yes, then what are the types of learning disability? And then once again, after going through the paragraph, I get an answer. Investigation may reveal various types of disorders like dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, specific reading disability, auditory processing disorder APD, ADHD, etc. So underline these sentences from the paragraph. So after getting the different types of learning disabilities, the question comes next is, are there any solutions? Are there any remedies? If yes, what are the remedies? What are the solutions? So once again, the paragraph provides me an answer. And what is that answer? Such problems can be solved to a great extent using various methods and treatments. Inclusion in education is one of the ways to solve the problem of children with learning disorder. Implementation of inclusive classrooms may vary, but the purpose will be achieved. And then the next question comes, if there are solutions, if this is the problem that exists, what is the present situation of this problem in India? And then I get an answer. And what is that answer? Unfortunately, our country is less open to inclusive learning for children with learning disabilities. Now, one more question comes to my mind, and that question is, what are the needs of such children? These children need to be handled carefully in their own space. They need love, encouragement, support, so that they can emerge with great self-confidence, self-worth, and determination. So students, in all 6 to 7 questions I asked to the paragraph, and I got answers. So you have to do one thing. When you ask a question and when you identify an answer, underline the sentences in the paragraph where the answer lies. And now the next step is writing the first draft. So the answers of these 6 to 7 questions we can put together as the first draft, and we get our first draft. So after putting together all the answers of the questions we asked to the paragraph, we'll get our first draft. Now this first draft we need to revise, we need to edit. And how to revise? We have to remove the redundancies from the paragraph. We have to use linkers, as I have told you in the previous segment, like, that, moreover, so that. These are the linkers we have to use to put two sentences together to follow step number 5, that is, revise your first draft and edit it. So how to revise it? For revising and editing, we need to do synthesis. We need to remove redundant words and phrases. We need to use linkers. So by using synthesis, removing redundant words and using linkers, we can get our final draft. Now we have a final draft ready for us. After going through this paragraph and after going through this final draft, we all know that the paragraph is about learning disabilities, solutions, and how to handle it. So the given title, Learning Disability Handle with Care, is appropriate. Students, I think there are many more things to tell you about the art of summarizing, but in the sake of brevity, I think I should conclude here. So I think only practice, and practice can make you a master of this skill, master of summarizing. A difficult question like summary writing will become a cakewalk for you after you do enough practice. So I think I have made all the points clear about summary writing here. Uh, Now it's time to say goodbye. So best of luck, good luck to all of you. Thank you for watching the video.